In the quiet dawn of a crisp autumn morning, Emily Johnson stepped off the bus at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. The air carried the scent of pine and damp earth, a familiar comfort from her childhood in the rolling hills of Kentucky. She gripped her walking cane tightly, its polished wood handle worn smooth from years of use. At 32, Emily was no stranger to stairs, but today felt different. This was her new beginning in the U.S. Army's elite sniper regiment. She had earned her spot through sheer will, yet the whispers started almost immediately. "Look at that," one soldier muttered to another as she limped toward the barracks. "What's she doing here? That cane's gonna trip her up before she even loads a rifle." Emily heard them, but she kept her head high. Her leg had been shattered in a car accident 5 years ago, back when she was just a civilian dreaming of service. Doctors said she'd never walk without aid, let alone run or aim steady. But dreams don't die easy, especially not hers. She had trained in secret, pushing through pain that would break most folks. Now, here she was, ready to prove them all wrong. But first, she had to face the mockery. The regiment was a tight-knit group, mostly men hardened by deployments and drills. Sergeant Mike Davis, a burly Texan with a voice like gravel, led the pack. He eyed Emily during roll call, his arms crossed over his chest. "Johnson, right? Welcome aboard. Hope that stick of yours doesn't slow us down." The others chuckled, shifting on their feet. Emily smiled politely, her blue eyes steady. "It won't, Sergeant. I've got this." That first week was a grind. Mornings started with physical training, runs through muddy fields, obstacle courses that tested every muscle. Emily lagged behind, her cane sinking into the soft ground. The soldiers didn't hold back. "Hey, Grandma, need a wheelchair?" Private Tom Reynolds called out one day, his laughter echoing across the range. Tom was young, cocky, from California, with a sharp aim and sharper tongue. Others joined in, nicknames like Cane Lady sticking like burrs. Emily felt the sting, deep in her chest. It wasn't just the words, it was the doubt they planted. Back home, her family had supported her, her mom baking apple pies, her dad sharing stories of his own army days. But here, she was alone. At night, in her bunk, she traced the scars on her leg, remembering the crash. A drunk driver had T-boned her car on a rainy night. She woke up in the hospital, leg in pins, future shattered. Therapy was hell, but it built something in her, a quiet fire. She learned to shoot from her uncle, a retired Marine, using a bench rest to steady herself. Hours in the woods, breath held, finger gentle on the trigger. Accuracy became her escape. Still, the mockery wore on her. During mess hall dinners, she'd sit at the end of the table, picking at her food while the guys swapped war stories. "Bet she couldn't hit a barn door," whispered Corporal Alex Thompson, a quiet guy from New York who usually kept to himself but followed the crowd. Emily pretended not to hear, but inside, frustration simmered. She wanted to belong, to show them she was more than her limp. One evening, after a particularly grueling drill, she approached Sergeant Davis. "Sir, permission to use the range after hours." He raised an eyebrow, chewing on a toothpick. "For what? Polishing your cane?" A few snickers rippled through the group nearby. Emily's cheeks burned, but she held firm. "To practice, sir. I aim to pull my weight." Davis shrugged. "Fine, but don't expect miracles." As she walked away, cane tapping the concrete, she heard the murmurs again. It fueled her. That night, under the floodlights, she set up her rifle, a standard M24 sniper system. The range was empty, stars twinkling overhead like silent witnesses. She lay prone, adjusting her position to accommodate her leg. Breath in, breath out, squeeze. The shot rang true, bullet piercing the target dead center, again and again, until her arms ached. This was her ritual, her secret strength. Days turned into weeks, and the tension built like a gathering storm. The regiment was prepping for the annual sniper qualification, a grueling test of marksmanship, endurance, and precision. It included long-range shots, moving targets, and stress simulations. Whispers grew louder. "No way Cane Lady makes it," Tom bet with Alex over coffee. "I'll eat my boot if she qualifies." Emily overheard, her heart pounding. She doubled her practice, rising before dawn, her cane propped against the shooting bench. The pain in her leg flared, but she pushed through, visualizing each shot, feeling the wind, calculating drop. Sergeant Davis noticed her dedication but said nothing. He had his doubts too. In staff meetings, he grumbled about affirmative action hires. But Emily's scores and basic drills were slightly not flashy, but consistent. Still, the regiment's camaraderie excluded her. During team exercises, they'd pair her with the weakest links, as if she were a liability. One afternoon, on a simulated patrol, her team lagged because of her pace. "See, she's holding us back," Tom complained loudly. Emily bit her lip, sweat beading on her forehead. "I'll catch up," she said softly. Inside, resolve hardened. She wasn't just fighting for herself, she was fighting the idea that weakness defined a person. As qualification day approached, the air hummed with anticipation. The range was set up on a vast field, targets at varying distances at 300 yards, 500, up to 800. Wind flags fluttered, adding challenge. The soldiers gathered, rifles slung over shoulders, banner flying. Emily arrived last, cane in hand, her uniform crisp. The mockery peaked. "Hope you brought binoculars, Johnson. Might help you see the target," Alex joked, eliciting laughs. Tom high-fived him. Emily said nothing, just nodded and took her position. The test began with standard shots. Each sniper took turns. Scores announced over the loudspeaker. Tom went first, hitting 8 out of 10 at 300 yards. "Solid." Alex followed, 9 out of 10. Cheers erupted. Then came Emily's turn. She lowered herself carefully, cane set aside. The group watched, smirks ready. She breathed deep, the world narrowing to the scope's crosshairs. Wind from the left, slight, adjust, fire, bullseye. Then another, and another. 10 out of 10. Murmurs started. "Lucky," someone said. Tension rose as distances increased. At 500 yards, moving targets swayed like pendulums. Tom missed 2, cursing under his breath. Alex hit 7. Emily lay still, her bad leg propped for stability. She waited for the rhythm, anticipated the swing. Shots cracked, each finding its mark. 9 out of 10. The smirks faded. Sergeant Davis leaned forward, eyes narrowing. By 800 yards, the real test, wind gusted unpredictably. Targets were small dots on the horizon. The regiment's top sniper, Lieutenant Sarah Milsa from Georgia, tough as nails, had set the record last year with 8 hits. Tom managed 5, Alex 4. The group was quiet now, the earlier jests forgotten. Emily's heart raced, but her hands were steady. Years of pain had taught her patience. She calculated, adjusted for drop, felt the earth's curve in her bones. Fire, hit, one by one, until 10 perfect strikes. The range fell silent. The twist came gently, like a breeze turning leaves. Sergeant Davis checked the targets twice, disbelief etching his face. "Johnson." "That's impossible." Emily stood, retrieving her cane. "Not impossible, sir. Just practice." The truth spilled out. Thana, her uncle's training, the accident that stole her mobility but honed her focus. The cane wasn't weakness, it was her anchor, forcing precision in every move. The soldiers stared, shame creeping in. Apologies followed, quiet and sincere. Tom approached first, hat in hand. "I was wrong, Emily." "That was incredible." Alex nodded, offering a handshake. Even Davis clapped her on the back. "You're the best we've got. Teach us." The regiment shifted that day, mockery replaced by respect. Emily didn't gloat, she smiled, the weight lifting from her shoulders. In the end, Emily Johnson became a legend at Fort Bragg, not despite her cane, but because of what it represented: a resilience in the face of doubt. She led training sessions, sharing techniques born from adversity. The soldiers learned that true strength hides in unexpected places. And Emily? She found her place, her family and uniform. As the sun set on the range, painting the sky in oranges and pinks, Emily leaned on her cane, watching her team practice. "Life's scars don't define us, they refine us." If you're facing mockery or doubt, remember, push through, aim true, and prove them wrong. Your breakthrough might just inspire the world.